There are many unanswered questions in Genshin Impact, like why is my god not horny enough? Or which artifact domain should I farm right now to make my character stronger? With more than 40 characters released so far and only 160 resin available to us per day, we have to think twice about which domains we should farm to gear up as many of them as fast as possible. Today I want to cover 3 things you should consider before farming artifacts that are going to help you spend your resin efficiently so you don't get burned out and eventually quit farming. Or worse, continue farming the wrong domains, wasting your resin, not getting stronger and never understanding why. Let's go. The 2 major reasons why players quit farming artifacts is getting bad rolls and the sheer number of characters they have, thinking they have to gear every single one of them individually. Since we can't do anything about what rolls your artifacts are gonna get, the core concept of today's video is gonna focus on how to make this process feel fast, efficient, and rewarding with 3 core topics in mind. First, we are going to talk about which domain should you be farming right now. The second is about which domain is going to give you the best bang for your buck, and third, which we are going to save until the end of the video because some people might not agree with me on this one, is a tier list of domains with one that, in my opinion, you should never go to. Hi, I'm Denyi, and first topic we have to cover in this video is your motivation on why do you want to farm artifacts in the first place. And your answer would probably be something along the lines that you want to get stronger or you want to be able to clear content faster. Maybe it's just that you don't want to jump between platforms when fighting Dwolan, or just wanting to flex on your filthy casual friends with those big damage per screenshot numbers. So then my second question is, who is your strongest, best scaling character that is going to help you achieve this? And your answer would probably be your main DPS. And so the answer to which domain you should be farming right now is the one that is going to benefit your main DPS the most, because at the end of the day they are the ones that are gonna carry you through any obstacles you're gonna face. But I don't have a main DPS, Mr. YouTuber, I hear you say in the third row. Don't worry, I'm going to tell you which domain is the most efficient when it comes to artifact farming in just a second. Most of the main DPS characters are either Cryo or Pyro, so the Hidden Palace and the Peak of Winged are your places of interest. Now, I'm not here to tell you which characters you should or should not roll for, but rolling for these 2 elements is a safe bet that if you get a second good piece of the same type, for example another flower, there are always going to be multiple characters that can use it. I'm saying this because Richwatch and Slumber Recurrent can show up here as well if you have Eula or Ito respectively, but just to be clear, getting a second Pale Flame set might have much lesser impact on your account overall than getting a second Blizzard Strayer set, for example. As I promised, I'm going to show you where all of these domains rank on my data-based tier list and which domain you should never go into. But first, let me answer the question the viewer in the third row asked. At some point you're going to feel comfortable with the artifacts on your main DPS character, if you have one, that is. Or you're just going to say that you're so done with that stinky, filthy domain and that you would rather drill into your need than touching that cursed key again, which is fair, to be honest. There might be a myriad of reasons why you stop farming a specific domain and instead focus on something that is going to benefit everyone. Quite literally. Focusing on farming artifacts that are going to benefit as many of your characters as possible might be even your best option if you are a newer player, especially if you don't have a main DPS character that you want to hyper invest into yet. And so which domain is absolutely the most efficient one when it comes to spending your resin? Go ahead and try to guess in the comment section below. Ready to farm? And the answer is the Momiji Dyed Cut. The 4-piece bonus of Emblem of Severed Fate is absolutely godly on some of the best 4-star characters, with my personal favorite, Zhangling, being one of them, and then there's Shimawana's Reminiscence as well. While the 4-piece bonus is not as widely useful as that of Emblems, the 2-piece bonus is together with Gladiator is the most universal one. You can slap this bad boy on almost any character that is intended to deal damage and it's just going to work. This domain has something for everyone. It's truly amazing how different builds can benefit from it, and is really easy to farm as well, since enemies here are weak to the two strongest elements. On top of that, you get a damage bonus to them. In my opinion, this was miHoYo's first try at an artifact catch-up mechanism. There is one domain that serves a similar purpose, but I actually recommend to avoid farming that one completely. Let me show you my free-to-play research and I'm gonna explain why. As you can see from the data I collected from paimon.moe, Emblem is recommended to 1/3 of characters released so far, and 2-piece Shimevanas is usable on 32 characters. That's absolutely insane value. From these 32 characters, it's best in slot for 14 of them. The obvious downside to this is obviously that you might just want to farm this domain forever. Interested in how other domains compare to this one? I got you covered. As you can see, some of them didn't age well since their release, like a Midsummer Courtyard for example. Of course, this is all subject to change as new characters and new domains are added into the game, but as of right now, I definitely think Momiji Diet Curd is the domain you should be farming when you don't know which domain you should farm. If you watched closely, you might have noticed that there is one domain missing, and that's because spending resin in it became obsolete. So before I tell you which one it is and why artifacts from it are still super useful, if this video helped you out at all, consider giving it a like and checking more of my Genshin Impact content. It was scientifically proven that people that are subscribed to this channel have a higher chance of obtaining multiple 5 stars and a single 10 pull. So what about that domain? I'm obviously talking about the Clear Pool and Mountain Cavern. After the addition of Nobless Oblige and Bloodstained Chivalry to the Mystic Offering table, the need to visit their place of origin is but a distant memory.
But where are those who share the memory?
But rejoice, for this is not a sad fact. Remember how I told you in the intro that you can't do anything about what rolls your artifacts get? It wasn't completely true. You see, instead of turning all the unwanted artifacts you get from your main DPS domain or Momiji domain into XP juice, you can turn them into Noblesse Oblige pieces instead via artifact strong boxes in 3:1 ratio. And if you get bad rolls on them as well, just do it again. There is also one terrible truth behind all of this that I've been hiding from you from the very start, and I'm going to reveal it to you. But just look at the statistics. Noblesse is recommended for 23 different builds and even is a best in slot set for some of them. That's why you should always at least consider this option. It's the most efficient way on how to get as many useful artifacts as possible and doesn't cost any additional resin. Now, here comes the terrible truth. Even if you follow all of my advice, there is just no guarantee that you're going to get a good artifact. No PT system and just completely biased roll table is a perfect recipe for a long and exhausting grind. On the other side, everything I said should make this process as painless as possible, and with little patience, you're eventually gonna get there. That is all the knowledge I have for this video, but you should absolutely go and check out this one as well to get more Big Smart info, improve your Genshin Impact experience, and to get some more ha-has.